What's up everyone, I'm JT Anime and Nerd here, bringing you all that nerdy goodness. On this video today, I will be explaining my most favorite fanfiction I've ever had the pleasure of writing, and that's Dragon King, a story that takes place in a world where every anime, manga, and Japanese video game character all exist together in one universe. This video is going to explain the characters, the synopsis of the first saga, as well as the layout of how the universe works, and how some of the anime/manga characters got to where they are in life within this universe. First, let's talk about the original characters that this story is going to revolve around. There will be more in the future, but for now we'll focus on the main three and a half. You'll know what I mean by three and a half very soon. Now, before I explain these characters, their techniques and abilities, as well as a bit of their backstory, I want you all to know that these original characters can be viewed like the custom characters in the fighting game Jump Force. These are characters with inherited or learned techniques that are famous within the respective anime/manga series, with the only big difference being that these characters will find a way to make these famous techniques their own, and creating a variation of the famous technique that are exclusive only to them. So let's start off with our main character named Jaiken Tenkaichi, or JT for short, aka the Dragon King himself. JT grew up the weakest in his home city of Wyvera, a city that worships dragons as gods. However, JT viewed them as they truly were, not gods, but warriors that had potential to surpass both gods and demons. Inspired by the dragons, as well as his first martial arts teacher, JT dedicates his life to becoming the strongest in the world, as well as chases his dream to find an eternal fight. JT is, of course, based off of myself, with his personality being a combination of Goku and Luffy. JT is a powerful warrior with a strong childlike perspective of the world, and always wants to solve any problem with his fists. When it comes to his opponents, he doesn't discriminate. To him, as long as you have the ability to fight back, he will always be willing to fight, whether the person is man, woman, or child. Having the personality of a child, JT's morality does tend to switch up a bit, from someone who cares about the fate of the world to someone who cares more about the fight than the crisis at hand. At the end of the day, JT doesn't view himself as a hero. He views himself as a fighter, and nothing or no one is going to change that, be they an actual hero, villain, or even friend or family. JT's design would actually be more inspired by Jin Mori from God of High School, only with slight tanner skin and less spiky hair. His main clothing would be a black t-shirt, black sports pants, and socks and sneakers, while also sporting a jean sweater that he can wrap around his waist during fights. JT's fighting style is pretty basic at the beginning, but the more energies and techniques he learns, he puts into his fighting style, which he just refers to as Dragon King style. His most favorite technique is his Dragon Fist, which is merely a punch empowered by his full inhuman strength, but has the ability to evolve with each new power he gains through his training. Now let's move on to our second and a half characters, Al-Ren Okami, or Al for short, and his canine companion, Fang. Like most of the original characters in the story, this character of Al is actually based on a really close friend of mine. His design would be inspired by a combination of Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z and Kiba from Naruto, but with dark blonde hair. Al doesn't talk much about his childhood, but he was trained and raised alongside his companion Fang by one who is known as the Wolf Fang Master. Now, as for Al's companion, Fang is a battle wolf from the Toriko series that grew up alongside Al. How long that was is a mystery. Either way, the two developed a strong bond that went beyond just owner and pet, but a bond of family, as if they were brothers. Al's personality is surprisingly a mix between cowardly and brave, as despite his determination, Al has always shown to be the weakest in a fight. And so his cowardly side developed as a result of this. However, Al seems to always show promise, and it's only a matter of when his time to shine will finally arrive. Where Al truly shines, however, is his loyalty to his friends, especially Fang. Even if it costs him his life, he will gladly put his life on the line for his friends. And the same is with Fang, only he's much more braver than an Al. All-Ren's fighting style is a combination of Yamcha and Kiba Inuzuka's fighting style, as the Wolf Fang Master introduced Al to the Inuzuka clan, and so was taught to combine their canine tag team fighting style with the martial arts style of the Wolf Fang Fist. This has allowed Ao to combine the techniques of both fighting styles into creations of his own, such as the blinding wolf tunneling Fang Fist. Oddly enough, the most he's ever put into a fight seems to be whenever he's placed at a point of great pain or near death, as he even seems to grow mysteriously stronger with every fight he loses, or even and nearly dies from. Finally, let's talk about the third character, and his name is Damon, also known as Demon Leg Damon. His design would mostly resemble that of Mifune from the Soul Eater series, only with yellow hair and signature curly eyebrows. Damon's personality is a combination of annoyed and incredibly serious, like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. Damon doesn't take crap from anyone, and won't tolerate anyone trying to control him, other than his kind parents, that is. Because of Damon's seemingly demonic personality, he's always been viewed and called a demon by everyone except his family, and so decided to take on the career as a professional assassin for this group known as the United Assassins Association, or the UAA for short. Damon is always adamant at completing a mission, but at the end of the day, his demonic personality merely masks a kind heart, as Damon will never hesitate to pick morality over everything. Only very few people know that on the inside he's a good person, but prefers for everyone to keep viewing him as a demon in order to keep his reputation as a strong assassin intact. That way, everyone knows what they're getting should they ever be on the other end of his foot. But that, of course, doesn't mean that he likes being called a demon. Damon's fighting style was inherited by his father, who happens to be a famous seaside chef, a style known as the black leg style that was originally known as the red leg style. When Damon's training in the style was complete, he renamed it the demon leg style, and so created the title Demon Leg Damon for himself. While Damon has inherited his father's techniques, he decided to take it one step further by accepting a power known as the curse mark, allowing him to embrace and accept himself as a demon. Alright, now let's talk a bit about that first saga of the story, and it's what I've titled the Dragon's Rising Saga. This saga will of course span multiple arcs, introducing and growing our main characters, as well as set up story arcs that involve iconic and memorable characters. This saga is going to focus more on martial arts, video game, and One Piece characters, including locations and characters you wouldn't think could mix together. Th- think of if Street Fighter met One Piece, something like that. At first, it will feel like something out of Kingdom Hearts, like these characters appearing in a story arc centered on characters of a single series, but as the series continues, it will slowly begin to all collide with each other, and characters you wouldn't imagine to meet will finally meet. The first saga will revolve around JT and his friends traveling the world in order to grow stronger as fighters, only for them to find themselves in the middle of an ongoing conflict between their newest teacher and an old enemy of his. Okay, now let's go over something I'm sure some of you would question. Is this a sequel to every character's story, or is it a reboot? Well, it's actually both. Let me explain. Now, this would not get revealed until later and would be built up throughout the first few sagas, but I'm just going to explain it now just so there's no confusion. Anyone who reads comic books like Marvel and DC are familiar with multiversal events, storylines such as Marvel's famous Secret Wars 2015 and DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths event are examples of this. Something similar happened before the beginning of this fanfiction's universe, combining the universes of countless anime, manga, and Japanese video game worlds into one whole new Xenoverse. This is why certain anime characters will have different lives than they've lived in the original universe, but still be able to retain or regain powers that they've already unlocked in their past life. For example, and this is relevant to a certain character story in this fanfiction, so I'm just going to be brief about it, but Sanji from One Piece does inherit and take over the Beretti restaurant in this universe, but also secretly ends up becoming a mob boss. I'd explain why, but that would involve major spoilers, so you'll just have to wait to know how that happened. Now, first, I just gotta say, if there ever comes a chance for me to turn this into a non-profit fan manga, because I definitely get sued for a project like this if I tried to make money off it, then I would definitely leap at the chance. I'm really hoping this story becomes as popular in anime slash manga in the anime slash manga community to similarly to how Dragon Ball fan manga have become so popular. I mean, I highly doubt there's any fan manga that exists more than Dragon Ball fan manga. I truly dare someone to prove me wrong on that. Anyway, I can't wait to share this story with you guys, and I hope that there is at least a few of you guys anticipating this story, as I know new YouTubers aren't really very popular at first. Plus, I'm sure the majority of everyone watching this video aren't too enthusiastic about this, since could be plenty of story decisions they believe can go wrong. If you guys do like this video, however, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, put down in the comment section below on what you think of this video and the topics talked about in it. With all that said and done, I'm JT Anime, and I'll check you guys later.